storm, earth, and fire, heed my call.
What's up everyone, it's Waves and today I have a new M+ commentary for you guys. Today, Jade Temple, difficult dungeon on Tyrannical for various reasons, the main reason being last boss. So yeah, I would say without further ado, we start the video and see what we did to manage to time this key. In the beginning we had a wind rush here. I forgot to pre-pot, which you can just use a pre-potion here like a shocking disclosure potion, for example, because they last very long, and then get a second one like in here. But yeah, either way, we pop defensives here because we take both elementals here and all of the treasure leading up to them. We just soak the first two ripples here and just heal through them. We also popped AG, so we're doing like 90k HPS right now. So yeah, pretty much just trying to survive here. Then we line the ripple. They are so like desynced though that we just decide to soak the second one again, so we just line the first one. Overall, not the most difficult pack in a Tyrannical week, because I mean, you know, it is Tyrannical, so you can just kill these off, then move on to the next set of mobs here, which just has a couple of smallies that you can CC, and then you have the water speaker. Water speaker pretty easy to interrupt, obviously, because there's nothing else you need to interrupt, so that's pretty free kinda. And in this pack, you kind of just want to like hold your CDs, like your CC CDs, so that you have interrupts, you have stuns, you have knockups, whatever for the upcoming pack, which is the two water speakers and the elemental. So that's what we did here. We just wait real quick for the kick of jelly to be ready, and then we go onto the water elemental and the two water speakers. You can see we have green and yellow mark on them, so that we know who interrupts what. Obviously, we're again in Discord talking about our CC, our interrupts, whatever, to make sure that we have something for everything that we need to interrupt. And if we can't interrupt or stun or whatever, that, you know, we know how to handle it in terms of like healing it or absorbing damage or whatever, right? You get what I'm saying. So yeah, this, even in Tyrannical, this can be like a scary pack if you play it like this without CCing anything or without lining anything. It's not that bad to heal in a Tyrannical week, so yeah, our healer doesn't have that much of an issue here, luckily. And yeah, with that, we already finished the pack here, and then we can go up to the boss. On the boss in Tyrannical, there's a little bit of an issue with the corrupted vortexes, because in a 25 Tyrannical, if you don't have anything here, like defensive-wise, you will die one shot from the corrupted vortex as an enhancement shaman specifically. So you either need Astral Shift, you need Earth Alley, you need Spirit Wolf, or an external from the healer or from someone else, like a rallying cry or something like that. You know, like you need something, otherwise you will die 100 to 0. So yeah, gotta make sure that you have something prepared for that. Other than that, I mean, obviously you don't step into the water when the thing is going off, so you would die. That will one-shot you, obviously, as well. The Hydro Lances, you want to interrupt them. What we do is we try to interrupt most of them. If we have it to where we can spell reflect it, we do that, obviously. So you can see, I jump out, I Astral Shift, and I jump back in. You pretty much just jump out onto the outer ring so that you don't disturb the inner ring, so that you can walk around there on the washaway. On these like ground effects, if you have a hard time seeing it, you can basically count the things, like the you know, when it's like, you know, coming up a little bit, you can count that every time. On the third one, it's gonna do the thing where you die. So on the next one, I can like show you what I mean by that, if that was a little bit hard to follow. But yeah, as you can see, the boss is already down to like 50%. We bloodlusted the first pull in the dungeon, by the way, because we don't really need it on the boss. The boss doesn't really do a lot, so it's kind of just like a training dummy for the most part. But yeah, now you can see second, third, boom, and then again. 1, 2, 3, and boom. You know, then you can always just start counting in your head with like the little the water coming up. It's always on the third one, then it's gonna splash up. 1, 2, 3, and splash. And it's always like that. So if you like count that in your head, then you have an easy time knowing, okay, can I pass over before it's happening, or can I not? And you won't be caught off guard basically if you just keep doing that. And yeah, I'm getting pretty lucky this fight because I don't really get a lot of like the corrupted vortexes, because it's way easier for a feral druid and a warrior to deal with them compared to me. Because as I said, if I don't have Astral Shift, if I don't have Earth Alley, I'm kind of in a bad situation. Sure, I can Ghost Wolf it, but it's kind of like annoying to do. Whereas the other two specs have it a little bit easier, or a little bit safer, I would say. So yeah, I'm just glad I'm not getting them, so I can just focus on doing damage. I'm also not getting a lot of the Hydro Lances, which is also good because we want them on the Monk or on the Warrior, so we can get either Dampen Magic or we get Spell Reflect, so that is really good. We try to take advantage of the Thundering buff here a little bit, so we get the damage buff. It's really important in boss fights like this where pretty much nothing is happening. You can easily make sure that you optimize your uptime on the damage buff. We cleared a little bit early there on 3 seconds, so it wasn't like perfect, but at least make sure that you don't just like instant clear here and take some of the damage that you can gain out of the Thundering debuff. And yeah, make sure that you know, optimize that boss damage. Then we put another Windrush here just to move a little bit quicker to the next pack here. We want to Invis that, so since we don't have a rogue, we use Invis potions here, which is important that we don't use a damage potion on the boss, so that we have Invis potions ready here. Then we take this yellow marked Haunting Shaw, and Haunting Shah, sorry, my pronunciation was a little bit scuffed there. On these lesser Shahs, you want to make sure that you have a defensive up once they die. It's not as crucial in Tyrannical as it is in Fortified, but in Fortified, if you kill all of these at the same time, it can be kind of sketchy. And even here, like you saw how low the tank dropped. Something where like Enhancement is really good for is that like later on, after the second boss, once you get into the court, is that on these packs with like the lesser Shahs, like Enhancement is really good because we're target capped, right? So we will automatically cleave them down unequally, because you want to stagger killing them so that you don't have the damage go off all at once. And Enhancement is just pretty good for that, because we're just naturally doing that, because there's more mobs in the pulls in the court other than the lesser Shahs, obviously. So you will reach the point where you have too many targets and you don't cleave them down equally. And that is really good because you, yeah, as I said, automatically stagger them, which is actually pretty good for the group, for the stability of the group, that you don't just randomly die. But yeah, now we're about to kill the bird here. This is like one of the most annoying mobs in the dungeon, I would say. So yeah, we make sure that we kill that off, and then we move over to the next pack. In this one, it's kind of important. You roll as an Enhanced Shaman. On the Golden Beetle, you want to stop the barriers as much as you can. Usually we have Leg Sweep on the first one. There we go. Then we want to Cap Stun off of that. There we go, Cap Stun the next one. Then we want to Thunderstorm the next one. And then I didn't have Sunder here. Usually I have Sunder. Then you would want to Sunder the next one. Then you can, in our comp, Stormbolt the next one. We also have Rake Stun, whatever. Like we have a lot of stops for it, basically. Just want to make sure that that doesn't go off. As soon as the beetle is dead, then we can just chain everything down onto the book here, so that we activate the next boss pretty early. And then while the RP is happening to summon the next boss, we can just cleave down the 2 mobs that are still alive, basically. Yeah, we found that to be a pretty efficient and pretty safe way to do this. And yeah, second boss, sometimes a little bit scuffed the way we play it, because we usually in packs you just focus one guy to 7 stacks, swap to the other one, you know, that kind of stuff. But we actually cleave these, so we cleave them up to 5 stacks, then single target 1 to 7 stacks. In that time, the other one drops the 5 stacks to 0. Then once the one is at 7, we swap over until that one loses stacks, then cleave them again until 5 stacks. You get the idea, right? It's a little bit more to micromanage. At the end of the day, it's mainly the warrior doing the cleave. So they are just calling the swaps. And honestly, the only cleave that I'm really doing is Primordial Wave. So I'm not really doing too much cleave-wise here. So I just swap whenever the swap is called. And that's it. Since the warrior, and I'm pretty sure the feral as well, are permanently cleaving here, they take the damage buff, which is why my damage looks pretty bad here, because I'm just not taking the damage buff. Here we fucked it up a little bit. As I said, it was a little bit scuffed in this run. We had some really clean temple keys, but this one was a little bit scuffed, so we sometimes had to just like, you know, press escape, not hit anything, let the stacks drop, and then continue. Otherwise we get the 10-second immunity, which obviously we want to avoid. So yeah, we just continue here. I still haven't taken a damage buff just because it's better for them to take it, basically. You can see the Feral Druid has 11 stacks right now, so he's pumping a lot of damage. And then we had to escape again because we kind of fucked up the cleaving as well. It looks kind of bad, like showcasing it like this, that the cleave strat just looks like it's not really worth it, but it's just us executing it pretty poorly in this specific case. If executed correctly, it definitely makes the boss fight way faster and saves you a lot of time for the key, basically. So yeah, we do have Bloodlust available. I wonder if we still use that here or if we keep it. I'm pretty sure we still Bloodlust here, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, now it's the first time I take the damage buff here, and I use it for my Primordial Wave, which is pretty good. I think I passed the buff over in a second here just because we need to clear Thundering, and we were pretty late with clearing it, so I had to make sure that I walk in there. So I passed the buff to the tank in this case. We had to escape here again, otherwise we would have immuned one, which we actually did. One of them is immune right now. And now we want to just get this one low, then once the immunity is gone, we switch over to this one, and now we just finish off both of them, basically. We kind of just finished the other one off, and now we just need to kill this before it reaches 10 stacks, but even without touch, we're perfectly fine here. And that is 18.5 minutes left for 2 bosses and, well, 2/3 of the trash, kinda. Now also we start having Mistweavers in the trash packs, which means that my utility comes in. That being Curse the Spell, so every time we get a touch of Ruin, or whatever it's called, we need to decurse the target that it's on, mainly the healer, so I gotta make sure that every time Crive has that from the Mistweaver, I decurse it before the duration wears off, because otherwise he will most likely die. There we go, Touch of Ruin, I instantly decurse it. Yeah, it can help to have a good weak aura for that. Maybe if you have weak aura sounds, make it like an air horn or something that you always hear whenever Touch of Ruin goes off. Because if you miss that, it may cause a wipe and may cause the key. So yeah, definitely important that you get that done. So yeah, we kill the next Shah here. Unfortunately, we get another set of malformed Shahs, is what they are called now. And these are the ones that you want to stagger because they explode when you kill them, is what I talked about earlier. So yeah, as you can see, we stagger them pretty well. Part of that is just due to me being an Enhanced Shaman and, you know, being target capped. So yeah, this next pull is actually kind of sketchy. You can either play this first pack, at least the way that we played. We either play this first pack with the patrol, but if the patrol is in a bad spot, we just take the 3 in the front there and then take the middle one, so the big Shah that summons the small ones, and that's what we're doing right here. So I puzzle box here, I get my Wind Fury totem down, and then I try to do as much damage as I can while still decursing the healer, otherwise, again, we die. So you also need to get interrupts. Ideally, you want to stop the tank buster on the one mob with like thunderstorms and knockups. There's pretty much just a lot going on in this pack here. So I'm really out of position here, almost get leg swept there. Decurse the healer, trying to do as much damage as I can while making sure that I do everything I have to do as well. There's a Dark Claw go off, but it's not too bad. And then we pretty much are done with this pack. We just have the Shahs now. Ideally, we would want to kill the Infestor now before it summons the next set of ads. I don't think we will get it here. I think it will summon the next set. Actually, oh, it's pretty low. Nah, we kill it right before. All right, that was like 0.1 seconds away. So yeah, we get that done. Next pack again, the Mistweaver. We kind of just want to focus the Mistweaver here and kill it, because afterwards, once we've killed that, we could easily continue chaining. Now we just take the patrol into it. So not the easiest pack, but again in Tyrannical you kind of can do it as long as you take care of the kicks. So I get the kick here, I make sure that that I get the decurses all the time on Crive, and we get AoE CCs here, we get knockups, we get everything basically. Just stop everything that the mobs are doing and then you won't die to it. That's pretty much what we're doing here. Decurse on Crive again, there we go. That's pretty much like your most important thing, is that you get the decurses. So you definitely should pay attention to that, because chances are you're the only one in the group that has a decurse spell, so has a cursed spell, sorry. So yeah, you gotta make sure that you get those. We get another Wind Fury totem down here, and in this pack pretty much you just want to kill the Lesser Shah here, and then once the smallies are dead you can chain the Minion of Doubt onto the next pack, because it's not really that dangerous anymore. So we chain it over here, start cleaving them down, and what we're doing afterwards is basically we want to finish this, then we walk to the other side, grab the patrol with the 2 pandas, the Mistweaver and whatever the other mob is, and then we just chain them into the boss, because they don't really do anything other than the one caster we need to interrupt and the decurse. So yeah, we get a tank buster off here. Ace drops to like 5% HP. That was pretty close to us having a tank death here. On this one, you gotta take a little bit of care. I think if the tank is gone, because he just left to take the patrol, he will use the Dark Claw on someone else. So if you don't CC it, then someone could just like get one tapped. But yeah, as I said, now we take the Mistweaver here. We take the Shah-touched Guardian, is what it's called. We take that. Make sure that we cleave them down on the way. By the way, these trees. Can someone go into Temple of the Jade Serpent and chop down these trees? It's so annoying, I swear. But yeah, we just keep them interrupted, cleave them down a little bit while we're moving to the boss. Ace is already on the boss and has pulled it. Again, we gotta make sure that we decurse Crive, so I just puzzle box here, then I get the decurse. I get my triple lightning bolt from Primordial Wave while the ads are still up. Then we just continue to cleave them down. On this boss, as an Enhanced Shaman, depending on how, you know, confident your healer and your tanks are with healing the heal absorb, especially in second phase, you can save stacks and help them with healing surges, which we played this key on a 26 once, and it definitely came in handy there in a 26 where if the healer didn't really have any externals, if the tank didn't really have any CDs, sometimes they would ask me to just send a 10 stack healing surge onto the heal absorb, and you know, if you run whatever the talent is called, that if you use a healing stream totem, then your next like 3 healing surges heal a lot more. If you use that, you can literally just top him through the heal absorb if you prep it correctly. So yeah, that was really good. In the 25, not really needed, so we kind of just played it as it is. Again, we maximize Thundering buff uptime, so we get more damage out of it. And yeah, now we're in the second phase, so now we get the Jade Serpent kicks. And you can see the heal absorb, like it's actually just trucking our tank, but both Ace and Crive, they got it under control, no worries there. And yeah, we just pretty much rinse and repeat. I mean, for DPS, it's kind of just like hit a training dummy, walk out, dodge the things. Go back, hit a training dummy. There's nothing else to it, basically. Pretty boring fight. I think for a healer and a tank, it's way more stressful than for a DPS. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's also not that easy once things spiral out of control. I've seen it a lot in pucks where the tank just randomly gets one shot, then the big kiting of whoever gets aggro starts into CR and, you know, that kind of stuff. So you got to be prepared for it. Even though we were kind of like relaxed, because obviously Ace was always telling us, I have this here, I need that from Crive, and we just felt pretty safe basically the entire fight. At least I did, I don't know. So yeah, as I said, I mean, we never even needed my healing surges, so yeah, we kind of like always had something ready for the next Serpent kick. So yeah, no issues there whatsoever. The boss is almost down to 30% now. Once it is at 30%, the boss is kind of done. I mean, there's last phase, but last phase isn't really a difficult phase. There's a breath that everyone needs to dodge, and then you have the zones on the ground that you can bait. So not really that much going on. Here you walk away from the boss so you don't get aggro, because there is an aggro reset. So you want to make sure that the tank is like the only one hitting the boss there, so he gets the aggro. Then we all stack here, as you can see, everyone's stacking, so we bait the swirlies. Actually, Crive didn't stack there and baited it to the side, it's perfectly fine. Now we just continue stacking right where we are and want to bait the next circle here, because you kind of just want to make sure that you get the most out of the room that you have possible. So actually it was baited on the tank there, so we have a little spot in between there where Crive is standing. Hopefully he gets the bait there. Jelly moves in, actually gets the bait in between, and we use the room that we have to stand perfectly. We bait another breath. Everyone is out of the way, obviously, because Ace is just baiting them onto the other side, like from us, other side of the room. And then the boss is down to 4%, and we're kind of like already killing it, so not the most difficult boss. Leaves us with almost 10 minutes for 29% of trash and last boss. Again, the only thing that really worries us here in this key is last boss. Here we try to focus down the Mistweaver, because we chain this pack actually. So we get the first kicks, then we chain this pack, and this is kind of a difficult pull, even in Tyrannical. It's not that easy. So I get the decurse here on Crive, we get the decurse on Tuo, and just try to like AoE all of this down. Again, it doesn't have that much health in Tyrannical, but still with all of the kicks and CCs and interrupts and stuns and everything that's going on that we need to do here, it can be quite a difficult pack, to be honest. The Touch of Ruin there goes off on me because I decursed Crive and then it went off on me, but it's still fine. I Astro Shifted it and healed afterwards, so we are pretty fine here. We had a 25 before, basically, that we played insanely clean on a temple, and then we depleted it on last boss, because last boss actually needs coordination. It needs cooldown planning, positioning, as I said, like timing, everything. And yeah, definitely not an easy boss on a 25 Tyrannical. And you will see, like, after we depleted, we didn't like just leave the key and went next. We actually went back to last boss and practiced it for like half an hour to 40 minutes. We practiced our positioning, our timings, mana management, CD management, you know, how we CC the ads, how we displace them, you know, everything. So we felt pretty confident going into this, even though it was still kind of sketchy. But yeah, you will see in a second just what exactly it means, how we practiced it. So yeah, we just cleave down the last two water speakers there. Then it's the last trash pack, which, to be honest, is kind of a difficult trash pack. But the main thing is, different to what a lot of people think, is that the Haunting Shah is like the only thing that's really difficult in this pack, because it really smacks the tank. So you want to make sure that you focus the Haunting Shah, and there the Haunting Gaze is what you want to interrupt. So I capstun the first one, we interrupt the cast. I'm just trying to be ready here to Thunderstorm this one. Actually, it went off because I was global locked, so that's my bad. Luckily, Ace didn't die to it. And then there is casting another one. We get the Raw on it, and then we just kill it off. At this point, the pack is, I mean, it's still not easy, but pretty much like the biggest threat is gone at this point. So what we're going to do now is basically just try to cleave down the entire pack while staying alive. I Astro Shift here, and I AG. Kinda bad on my end, because I kind of just panic AG'd, which I shouldn't have done, because we want my AG on the first ad set on the boss, which now it won't be ready. Since we have Vigil though from the Druid, it's kinda okay, because we can just, you know, use Vigil instead of AG and it will be fine-ish, I would say. Still, the group is dropping very, very low here. I Healing Surge myself to just get rid of my Grievous stacks and top myself off there. And yeah, we just continue cleaving down this Infestor. I think we will get another set of ads here. I Healing Surge myself again, because I'm kinda like scared of dying here with all the Grievous going on and the damage incoming. So we get, as I said, a last set of ads here, kill the Infestor off, and now we just like stagger these, right? We don't want to kill these at the same time, because then we would risk dying. We just kill them staggered, and that leaves us with around 6 minutes for last boss. Even though our healer is like half mana, so we put a feast down, we restore some mana, and then I think with like a little bit under 6 minutes, we start this last boss fight. Again, this is what makes or breaks the key. This is the most difficult part in a Tyrannical temple, is last boss Shah of Doubt. And we pull it here and go into our positions. Pretty much we have positions around the boss, so everyone has a certain spot to stand in. Because if you get the, whatever it's called, the Touch of Nothingness, and 2 people stand in it, as soon as you get 1 tick, on someone that isn't supposed to get the tick, you already fall behind, the healer will already struggle, and overall it's just difficult basically. Now we stack all together, get my Wind Fury down. We want to roar into leg sweep first. I capstun off of this. You want to get your Primordial Wave prepped. Then you do all the damage in the world that you can. You also have Sundering here. You could still Thunderstorm as well. We have the Ring of Peace there as well, so that no one gets meleeed by these ads. Because these ads can literally like two-shot you. So yeah, every time that I get the Touch of Nothingness and it doesn't get dispelled on me, I want to use Astral Shift here. And yeah, so pretty much everyone is in their positions again. The only time that those positions can be a little bit of an issue is once you get Thundering. So you want to clear the Thundering before the Touch of Nothingness happens, which is what we did right there. We took advantage of the damage buff as long as we could. Saw the Touch of Nothingness was going off in like a second, so we cleared. And then, as you could see, that Jelly got the Touch of Nothingness right next to me after we cleared, so was pretty much perfect timing on that. We also used Bloodlust after the first ad set on the boss, because boss damage is pretty much all that matters here. Sure, the ads need to die, but at the end of the day, if you have an Enhanced Shaman in the group, the Enhancement Shaman is kind of just soloing the ads anyways. You don't really need Bloodlust for that. Again, we stack here to spawn the ads all together so we can CC them. So yeah, you spread your Flame Shock on it. You get your Primordial Wave. My Capstun was a little bit late there, but it's all good. We get the ring, so no one gets meleeed. I Sunder them as well, and then you just AoE them down. Pretty much if you spread your Flame Shock, get Primordial Wave, Lightning Bolt, into Ice Strike, into Frost Shock, the ads should almost be dead at that point, because even though you do the majority of the damage, you still have teammates, right? And by the time that you get your full rotation off on the mobs of those like 3 damage globals, the mobs will just be dead. In most cases at least. So yeah, here we gotta make sure that we get the Thundering cleared. We are in a little bit of a weird position there. I saw that they would clear, so I didn't have to walk over there all the way, which is good. On this fight specifically, I said in the last key that I need to like optimize my puzzle box play. You guys know I don't really like playing puzzle box, but since we kind of have to play it, well, I have to play it as well. But yeah, I sometimes just hold it too long and like waste a use of like my puzzle box, which right here, I thought about using it on these ads, but then I had so many globals to press to like prep, and I was a little bit late, and then I healed 2-0, and then I just didn't end up using my puzzle box, so I held it for the next set. If I used it here, theoretically, if the fight came down to like the last few seconds, I would get another puzzle box. But yeah, as I said, I didn't use it here, so I will only get one more use of puzzle box here, which will be on the next set of ads, because using it in between would kind of be a waste, because yeah, I just get way more out of it if I use it on the ads. It's also safer, because obviously we can die here as well, but on the ads it's easier for things to spiral out of control compared to like just this right here. You could have like one death here if Crive just doesn't manage to heal someone with the Touch of Nothingness, if we don't have a CD for someone, stuff like that basically, right? But on the ads is where things can really like spiral out of control and just wipe your group basically. So yeah, we have 25% left of the boss HP. We have 2 minutes 20 left, which is not that much. So yeah, I get a Touch of Nothingness here. Jelly gets dispelled, so I have to Astral Shift here. Here you gotta make sure that once the Bounce of Reality spawns, you need to be close, because you get dispelled and then you instantly need to be in the right spot. A puzzle box here, we get Zephyr up. One ad is a little bit out of position, which is unfortunate, but we get the capstun after the leg sweep. We just AoE everything down. I just demolished these ads with puzzle box up. There's no chance for them to live any longer there. So yeah, we just get them killed, and you can see like the Grievous stacks and how much we're struggling healing this. I drop really low here, so I healing search myself. Overall, Crive doesn't really need a lot of help healing here, because as I said, we planned it out perfectly with healing CDs, dispels, positioning, everything. But every once in a while, if I drop really low, if I have stacks prepared, I might as well just like healing search myself and make it easier for him, especially with saving globals. Here we have another Bounce of Reality in 20 seconds, but the boss is at 5%, so we decide to like, send him home. And we want to get the Battle Res here, but we somehow didn't get it on 2-0. So we kind of just realized we had enough damage to finish it. We have 7 seconds left to kill the boss, and there we go. Shaft Out is defeated. Healer is completely 2-0 is dead. It was close, but yeah, we pre-planned everything, we played it clean, and we got it done. I was very happy about this key. Pretty much the whole group was happy that we got this key done. It's not an easy key. It's, in my opinion, one of the hardest tyrannical keys. especially in a Grievous week. So yeah, very glad we got it done. Hopefully there was something in the commentary or in the key or whatever that you could use for yourself, for your keys to improve your gameplay. Hopefully you enjoyed watching. I appreciate that. I hope to see you in the next video or in the live stream on twitch.tv/waveswow. And with that being said, take care and stay healthy, and I will see you guys around. Peace.